I always wonder what if everybody stood up at the start of a Zoom call, what would the bottom half look like?
Well, if you have your old boss, you don't want to challenge him to
that. Yeah, exactly. But I think you talked earlier about like the whole process of being promoted. How do I get promoted? That is such a ripe area, right? Because we learn at a really young age, right? This approval addiction thing. You know what your parents are going to get annoyed with, and if you do good at school and your parents approve, you can get away with loads, right? You can be the golden boy. But we go through life, and then you get the work, and you realise it's not actually delivering the work; it's impressing your boss and making your boss happy and making the levels above feel that you're not going to get them in trouble, or showing them up rather than real delivery. And that's kind of so weird that we think like that. But it's how the world works. You don't feel a loose cannon, do you?
It's like you must finish school and uni, and then get you have to reprogram yourself to actually what gets you successful in real life afterwards. Because it's like get your head down, keep working, pass your exams. It's like cool, I'm great at getting my head down and passing exams, but then I'm not good at talking, changing the perception about your work to someone else. I'm doing great work, so that's completely alien. No one tells you to do that. Or making your boss look good.
Yeah, getting a job. Getting a job's another nightmare as well. Talk about not being able to have an honest conversation. It's the weirdest dating game, interviewing and getting jobs, where there's a level of lying you can get away with, right? And everybody accepts that we're all just playing a game, but somewhere underneath the slight veil of BS is somebody that could be really good and work with you, but despite the fact they haven't grown company profits by 50% on their own with no help on their CV. You know what I mean? They might be quite a good data analyst or something. You know what I mean? And it's just a weird thing about it. Reminds me a bit of social media and how amazing your life is. But there is a reality that somehow you've got to get to. But I think that there's some stinkers. And why do we not say just be real? Just tell us really what you can do or what you like, and let's just have that conversation.
You just reminded me when I had to. As a job that we used to hire straight out of uni for an entry-level finance job, and literally everybody that we interviewed, because they all did business studies, which I didn't do, and they do a thing at the end, and they have to run up step a fake business, don't they, and do a case study thing, and then all the people that came for the interviews I was the leader, I did XYZ, I was like, well, hang on, didn't you come from Aston Uni? It's well, we've had 5 other people that said that they were also the leaders for their project in the same year as you.
Doing the work. It's insane. But yeah.
But it is, you're right. It's you have to well, how did you contribute to that thing? Yeah, ran it all. Yeah, all me. No one else. So you wouldn't say you're not a team player? Oh no, it was the team. Yeah, it was all the team, not me.
Not me at all. In fact, I just supported the team deliver it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I did all the teamwork stuff. That's me. I'm your guy. Yeah.
It's just
it's an odd thing. I've not been for an interview for 20 odd years, so I'm a bit out of it. But yeah, I didn't like interviewing when I had to do it myself, be an interviewee. And being an interviewer is not great either, because it's that sort of odd environment where you're trying to make someone feel comfortable, but you're having to then ask sometimes ridiculous overlapping questions that HR make you ask that you cannot deviate from, lest you be beholden to the HR gods. And sometimes you just want to say, look, should we just go to the pub and just have a beer and see if we get on?
Yeah,
because that's kind of the most important thing. I can teach you the stuff you need to know, but are you a decent person?
Yeah. Yes.
Best interviews I've had has always been conversational.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to now give you a scenario, and then you need to pass the scenario for me to see whether you're going to be able to. Well, are you going to have exactly the same scenario happen in the job? No, it's just made up. okay, so then, so I might be really good at this scenario because I'm good at coming up with solutions to a scenario. But what if my day job I'm rubbish? You can't tell just by asking. You can tell a lot more just by talking to someone. Just being genuine, just finding out about people's history. And
I think I love scenarios though. I think that so when I'm hiring a manager, right, I love to give okay, so right, you have a really smelly employee. You've had a word with them a few times, but you're still getting like comments across the organization as to their personal hygiene. You've tried suggesting they go swimming over lunchtime and all that kind of stuff, and it's just not working. In fact, it's so bad you know where they are in the building by the strength of the smell. Right? How do you deal with that situation? And I kind of immediately know, one, if somebody's got a sense of humor, two, if they can actually connect with somebody personally, and have those really bloody horrible conversations, but in a nice way. That's what I think. I think but you're right. Most interviews are just toss, rubbish. The interview I had with the guys that I'm currently working with was the reason I joined them. I immediately had human conversations with like the chief exec and the finance director, and they were just both okay. They were like the people that you could talk to about, their investing, where they are in the business. And that they weren't, that level of top table that, it was like Charlton Heston going, and now here are they were like real people, and real talk. You could talk to them, you could knock on the door going, I'm really stressed. And there's so few bosses that you could, or senior leaders that you can do that with. I think that is, and they say, the fish rots from the head down. It's kind of like that. If you've got good human beings in your really senior positions, I think that then carries down. But once you got weasels, well, at any level in your organization, it breaks. They become self-serving at that level.
Well, I'll tell you my experience when I went to the interview with Steve.
I can't remember it at all, mate, but I hope it was good.
They made fun of my clothes because I went there for my banking client. Well, that wasn't you, Steve. They made fun of my shirt and work shirt.
He was very corporate. You were very corporate, though, weren't you? And I know it's kind of, but why do we do the corporate thing? Why do we get, at least ties have kind of gone out of fashion now, because I always thought constricting the blood flow to your head is a bad idea, right? But we were trained to do that from a young age. I didn't know whether it was like to cut off like all the scents or it was to point at your penis. I never knew what the purpose of a tie was. Any ideas?
Apparently makes you professional. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's all these conventions and crazy things. But you know what I mean? It's like the clothes do not make the man. I know they do to a certain degree, right? And there's a level of decency you got to have, and like scruffiness and personal pride and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, I think that's a given. But the kind of the suits and pointy shoes and wide ties and all that sort of stuff is. Yeah, I think it's largely.
It's tricky. I mean, I think it's a lot easier for guys because, like, we don't have much variation in, like, whether we're wearing a suit and a tie, or a suit without a tie, or a shirt without a tie with no jacket. Or then you flip to like, well, the wackiest thing you're going to wear in your personal life is jeans and maybe a t-shirt. It's pretty easy. But you're like, go for the socks, yeah. But then, like, I just remember it reminded me of like the young girls, if you can say that these days, was if there's like no guidance on what to wear, they would just like rock in as if they've been out clubbing until 8 and then just come straight into the office like in tiny skirts with like 12-inch platform heels, like tottering down the office. Like, I'm pretty sure that isn't acceptable, but I don't want to be the person to have that conversation.
I get what you're saying. There's a level, and for me, that's probably bum cheeks, right? It's distracting in a workplace, right? But you know what I mean? There's got to be a lot of like freedom as to what, you know what I mean? But I agree, it's really difficult. It's really difficult. The one corporate dress that I really like is where you've got like the jacket and you've got the shirt, and then you've got like jeans on the bottom half. So it's like business on the top, party on the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? It's like the
business mullet.
Yeah.
Or the Jeremy Clarkson, as I like to call it.
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy Clarkson look. It's kind of just go one way or the other. Wear a t-shirt and just be or not. But it's it's very strange.
I quite like the Jeremy Clarkson. I don't know if it's because I've got older.
You're right. I do that.
Get married, had kids, started eating varifocals, thinking about getting a caravan because and then wear the Jeremy Clarkson to go out.
I might be in the wrong podcast. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna have to leave.
It's funny though. It might be age, but I've really started going off jeans. I've really started. I kind of like
chinos.
I like a pair of chinos now. I'm very fond of chinos now. I've got lots of different colours, and I've got matching like quality polos to go with them. And
if any of them made jeans look like jeans, but the comfort of chinos, you could call them jeanos.
You're on
here first
because jeans just get a bit hot. Particularly traveling on tubes. Like, I don't like the jean feel. It's like I'm not a cowboy, or I'm not. I don't need to ride a horse, so I don't need that like resilience in my crotch area.
Yeah. The chaps say different.
As I've got older, though, I'm more into shorts. I never used to wear shorts, but I just like the comfort of just having shorts.
No.
I'm with Jeremy Clarkson. Ali's gone for the Postman. Shorts 24/7.
You should come up to Bolton, right, where we are, and North. People wear shorts throughout the year. It's really, they are tough. I think it's the Viking heritage that from here. They're like, I wear shorts. It's funny because I wear shorts throughout the summer when I'm Zooms and working, and I always wonder what if everybody stood up at the start of a Zoom call, what would the bottom half look like?
Well, if you had your old boss, you don't want to challenge him to
that. Yeah, exactly. But it's like I wonder how many people actually get fully dressed, because sometimes, like, I don't know, I leave it relatively tight. In fact, another weird thing that I probably shouldn't admit on a video, so may need edited. The current team that I work with, I've never had more people see me in my pajamas than this current group of people. It's mad. I know you probably did, Ali. I know a whole bunch of them did, because if I'm online and doing some work at like 7 o'clock, I've probably on my first coffee, hair's like stuck up at the side, and it's like, we just do videos. I go, morning, I'll have a chat with them. And then at like 8:30, I'll go and have a shower and get ready for like proper work. I don't know. Is that unacceptable? Is that just a level of weird?
Note to self: don't book in a 8:30 appointment with Steve. It's like, I'm just in the shower, go. Carry on.
My wife works for Sainsbury's. I've got quality pajamas. Every time the seasons change, I get a new set. It's really good. But is that wrong? You know what I mean?
Of course not. As long as you're comfortable and you're not inappropriate in a way of, as long as people don't feel uncomfortable.
But it's like eating on Zoom call. Should you eat in the middle of a video on a Zoom call?
Depends. If you're in the middle of an interview, maybe not. But if you're in the middle of, maybe if there's 200 other people on the Zoom call, I just close my video and I eat.
I only do that if it's messy. I only turn my video off if it's messy. If it's something that I can kind of eat like nicely, I'll just carry on eating and talking. And I've talked with a mouthful, but I just.
Well, if I'm presenting, I wouldn't eat. If I am drinking is fine. But if I'm presenting, I don't want anyone to.
Yeah, just 5 Stellas down. Don't mind me.
But if you're presenting though, your screen's probably, you're only a little. If you've got something on your screen, if you're presenting material like a PowerPoint or whatever, you could eat in your little box on the side. It's funny what you're saying about the Stellas down, right? Because in the week I drink non-alcohol beer quite a lot, and I do like I don't want to like product place, but I do like a Erdinger no alcohol. It's very good, but I cannot turn up on a work call at the end of the day and go, "Here's my beer," because even though it's no alcohol, it still feels like a beer. Not to me, but to them.
Yeah. To them,
I should point out to anyone listening to this or the podcast, there is no point drinking non-alcoholic beer. Please drink normal beer. If you're gonna suffer through the bad taste, just get drunk.
Some no-alco beers are nice. What's your take on no-alco, Gav?
The Erdinger one is all right because I guess the wheat beer's got a bit of flavour in, and I have dabbled a bit. Obviously, used to work in the brewing industry, but the downside is you still got the stuff in that gives you a hangover. So if you think, well, you might do pint for pint with somebody, they're like, oh, I'm driving, so I'll just have a non-alcoholic one. It's like you feel absolutely terrible with none of the benefit. So if you generally like the taste, then it's okay. But yeah, I don't tend to drink them myself. But yeah, they've got they've got a lot better.
Yes, I think they have. But bearing in mind, each pint of beer is 7 slices of bread. So I'd rather have the bread, in all honesty.
There's only so much bread you can eat, surely, man.
I eat bread like. Why do you think I'm this size?
No, but it's not the bread. It's what you put on the bread. I don't see you just like going through a loaf. Like that. It must be the filling. It's worse.
Don't attack my peanut butter and jam, all right?
You just reminded me of another little aside about beer and calories, which was probably a career-limiting moment, but it's probably around the time I had a boss that wasn't great. That said, you need to be more challenging and put yourself out there, and didn't tell me how to do that. So I was like, okay, cool. So what? So there's a big conference for like the whole of the UK to launch Carling 99 calorie bottle. And it's like, yeah, we've done loads of research and people think there's loads of calories in beer. And actually it's not the beer, it's eating the curries afterwards. I was like, all right, okay, you've got me interested, carry on. And then they were like, well, 99 calories is 3 olives or it's a glass of milk. And you can have like a bottle of Carling beer for 99 calories. We haven't done anything to the beer apart from make the size slightly smaller so they could say there's 99 calories in it. Which is like, right, you're already losing me now. And then it's like, yeah, because everyone thinks this thing. So I was like, hand up. It's like, yeah, you question. It's like, yeah, people don't drink 10 pints of milk when they're not thirsty. So do you not think putting there's 99 calories in something that they're not going to just have one of is a bad idea? And then they're like, just like the mood to switch to like ultra corporate, like, no, we don't encourage drinking to excess and blah blah blah. I was like, oh come on, we sell piss water to working men's clubs. What do you think's happening?
Yeah. I tell you though, beer that processes somehow internally and you don't have to go to the gents every 12 minutes later on in the night would be amazing. That used to be my problem.
The geriatric.
No, when you break
a geriatric, please.
When you break
hold the catheter.
Seal, when you break the seal, when you go for your first wee, after that, then it's like 12-minute cycles.
That's how quick you can drink.
It's burning off the calories, though, Steve. Especially if you got to go upstairs.
Yeah, I could probably do like 99 calories hobbling to the gents, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, it's sad getting old. It's sad getting old.